First of all, can I say we all know the arts are under assault federally. We know there's been an enormous attack on the arts, and here locally we're wanting to protect every little space that we can find. And this theatre really formed as in a little crack in a wall, literally. A little archway in the wall, and then it blossomed and it grew, and it's not compliant. It's a little messy, it's a little dirty, it's a little hard sometimes to put it in a box, but that's why I love it. Because the sterilisation of our city, with the steel, the glass, the chrome, with everything having to be in order, is something which I think actually degrades us as people. We want to have different places, we want to have different people, we want to have different approaches, and that is what the Archway Theatre actually really stands for. I wanted to tell you just a little bit about the politics, if I can, because isn't it interesting, after 10 years of being here, there was no issues with compliance. There was no issues with rules and regulations, but as soon as this master plan was adopted, all of a sudden this became non-compliant. All of a sudden there were orders and inspections and visits, and what I really sensed was a real attempt to just drive out those people involved in the theatre. And when of course that didn't work and we made it clear we'd be holding a public rally, this meeting, we had a meeting just in here and put our heads together and said, let's get people together and hold a rally. And when that happened, all of a sudden the eviction notice came with 5 days notice. Cynically, 1 day before our rally today. And there was a hope from the bureaucrats that we would all walk away and leave and be very disappointed and go home. But of course, what we did and what we saw from Rachel, from Stefan and everyone here was a real attempt to turn that around. And I want to echo Eva's comments. I mean, we're all negative about politicians, and we probably should be for most of them. But what we found, at least with the Deputy Lord Mayor and several other councillors, is when the pressure was on, when they felt the level of support for the theatre from the community, they buckled 3 hours before the eviction notice. I think in no small part it was because the police found out that myself and others would be down here and saying, well, you have to arrest us if you want to lock the place up. And that really precipitated, I think, a bit more discussion from the city, and now we have a small reprieve until the 1st of February. But where to from here? There's 3 things that I want everyone to go away with today. Number 1, this is a campaign that we can win. We've already had very successful wins because, quite frankly, it shouldn't be here today. There should be a big lock on this gate and nobody should be here. But we're here as a result, and it's a witness to the effort and love of the arts that people are here today. So number 1, if you can make it on Monday afternoon at the City of Sydney, please come along and show your support for the theatre. Number 2, over here we have a petition and some contact information to make sure we can keep you in touch. And thirdly, we're going to be inviting you through email. If you're not on our email list, please put your name down here, or if you don't have email, put your address. We want to be harnessing the love and the spirit and the passion of everyone here to make sure the city knows loud and clear that we want to have the Archway Theatre continue. But I just, before I finish, want to give you just one little picture about the problems that we have with the bureaucracy. We received a letter yesterday, actually Rachel, saying that the petition that we lodged with hundreds and hundreds of names on it from the property manager of the city said, we're very sorry, we can't accept your petition because we'll have to give it back to you because it doesn't comply with the petition guidelines of the City of Sydney. And we're like, are you serious? What's going on? I'm used to this from the Liberal government, but we know we can expect better from the City of Sydney. Many of us here support the leadership in the City of Sydney, but we want them, as Eva has said, to make sure they don't just talk the talk, but they walk the walk. And I commit myself to continue to support this campaign, to work very hard to get on that phone to all those councillors, to cajole and encourage and have, a frank exchange of views about this matter, because I believe that, with the arts, it really is something which is good for our souls. And I want to see our local community not just be a sterilised place of parklands and a few trees here and there and perfectly manicured lawns, but we need to have sites like this. We need to have places where people can have adventures, where people can think outside the square, and that's what makes this community in the inner city such a special place, and I'm going to work to keep it that way with your support. Thank you.